Hi there, everybody. It's Cassie. After playing in GIMP for a while, I am finally feeling okay enough to show you guys how to edit in GIMP as well as take a photo in Second Life. So let me take you back to how I did this because I did already record this just to see how it'd look, and I figured it'd be probably smart if I redid all this for you. So I'm going to hit Alt-Shift-H just to hide my HUD for now. And we are going to go into preferences. So this is the Second Life viewer. I opened up preferences, graphics, and advanced settings earlier, and these were unchecked right here. Advanced lighting mode. You can see how high this all was too, and I think I had local lights off as well. uh, and then I set a wind light. So let's click these again. We want these selected. And you want to make sure also that the details in physics are high if you're able to handle it, as well as your object details. I guess physics doesn't matter. That would be for the booby bounce. Okay. And now, because we have this all set too, we're going to hit OK. And we're going to go to World, Environment Editor, Environment Settings. Now, I have mine from Firestorm. I have no idea how I did it. I think I just copy pasted my wind lights into the Second Life sky. I don't know how. I have Euphoria monochrome on here though, and that is I believe that is a wind light from the actual second settings for this, but I could be wrong. But if I figure it out, I'll let you guys know in the description. So I'm currently wearing Caboodle, the bodysuit as well as the shorts. I am wearing Izzy's wet skin just to give myself a little bit more texture on the body. I am wearing the Magica hair. Which one is this? This one is Rowan. I love the new textures. They are so pretty. I'm using Control, Alt, and then using my finger on the... I'm just using a trackpad to move around, by the way. And this is a paparazzi building. Obsessed with paparazzi. Their stuff is just so nice, and they do really well with their lighting. Like, she does an awesome job. And then we have these heels down here. These are from Rain. They're a very old release. And then makeup. I think I forgot to put my contour back on. No, it's on. Then I have a Rise brows. My contour and my eyeshadow is from Vici. And okay, so let's get to this. So we have it zoomed out right here. I love using Control 8, 9, and 0. So if you use Control 8, it zooms you out. You hit Control 9, it resets your camera. And if you use Control 0, it zooms you in and it makes the photo look less fisheyed and more flattened to be a little bit more realistic. So we are going to take the image here. I like how the lighting looks. And then I added a face light as well. It is the Luka face light. I cannot find it on my body, so I haven't been able to move and adjust it because Second Life is wonderful and it doesn't let me edit it from the appearance or from the inventory menu. So that's been great. But I took a photo and let's delete this. No, I want to delete the whole thing, please. Delete layer. There we go. And this is how it turned out. So it's pretty similar to what I have right here, just kind of slightly adjusted a bit. And now we have it open in GIMP. It's pretty easy. I'm sorry if I rushed the Second Life editing for this, but honestly, the first time I recorded this, it took me about 30 minutes to get it done because I was still putting on makeup and stuff. So, sorry. We have GIMP open and I fell in love with it. It is so fun to play with. I think I actually like it more than I do Photoshop, which is crazy, especially since this is a free thing. And while it takes a while to get used to it, it's so fun. Like, there's just so much you can mess with in this, and they make you go into more detail with it than you normally would with Photoshop. Like, Photoshop has so many quick tools that let you just kind of click and go with, while this really makes you fine tune everything. Now, an annoying part of this photo is the fact that with baked on mesh, since the Second Life viewer has a baked on mesh version, we get this line because I made my image a little bit larger. When I took it, I went over here, hit camera, and because I have it at, well, I had it at 3000, it lowered a bit. You'll be able to see a line in this, and it's so annoying. So if you want it smaller, just go with what your desktop size is, but that's just too small for me and I can't handle that. So we are going to just close out of this now that we took it and go back in here. So I'm going to have to fix it up a bit. First off, we are going to blur. Let's blur the edges of everything because it's very jagged. You can't really adjust in Secondlife Viewer the smoothness of your shadows and your ambient occlusion that I've seen. Not ambient occlusion, sorry, your depth of field that I've seen. So it's been making it pretty hard to kind of like adjust with that. And with the sizing, it's really cool. I didn't know this before. I was like manually like moving this, but you can just hover over the bar and use your fingers up and down to raise the size of your brush as well as all of these down here. So we're going in, just smoothing it out. And we'll get to this in a second. Like you can smooth out what you can there, but it's not going to get rid of it all. So that's why we bring in this tool, the healing tool, which is also really neat. I've been having so much fun with this. So we'll make it smaller. I keep wanting to go to quick tools where you're going to hit control on a spot that isn't that weird thing. And then we are going to just, like we have to control and click. And now we have it set where we can just start coloring over this. Is my force too hard, soft? Yeah. So let's go back. There we go. The force will add how much you want to put in to make it go. Like if you want to layer it or if you just want like a hard copy. So I feel like this is kind of like a glorified clone stamp tool. Like it's a little different, but still it's pretty similar. And we are just going to go in and fix all these lines, which is pretty tedious. And I really hope Secondlife fixes this issue because this is something from like years ago that they fixed, and then Baked on Mesh just brought it back. And I've heard a lot of people have this issue too. It's not just me. It is extremely annoying. We're still going in and smoothing around. Again, there's another line, so we have to go on in again and fix it. Hit control, make your size a little bigger, and then just go on up. Try to keep it with the line of the original just so you don't have it be uneven. You don't want it to be like that, you know, like where it's way off. Because again, this is pretty much a clone stamp tool. So you want to try to keep it in line with the line that's behind you. You want to make sure it's smooth. You don't want it to look like a really bad Facetune. Okay. I feel like it also gets rid of like the depth of field and stuff that I have. Like it really changes my photo and it's so frustrating. Oop, went too far. You can also hit Control Z, right? Or is it Alt Z? Control Z, yeah, to undo. One day I'll get in the habit of doing all that. There. And then some down here. So much. I really like GIMP. This has been so fun. Like the first time I did this, I was just like, wait, how do I do this? How do I do that? And I've only used GIMP. This is my, well, now I guess technically third time using it, but second time using it with a different photo. So it's been cool. I've really been enjoying it. It's been a interesting learning experience. And again, it really makes you like it forces you to try things a bit more like difficult to manage than you normally would. So, and you can always try and blur these out and see if that will work as well, or use the smear tool, smudge tool, that's the word. But I figured this works the best, honestly. It's helping with just quickly getting through it. I know it doesn't seem quick, like I'm dragging on and it almost seems like I'm stalling, but I'm not. It's tedious. Okay, almost happy with it. Let's see if there's any more before we, yeah, there's some right here too. Stupid lines. Have you all been having lines like you personally? Let me know. And if you have a way of fixing it and you figured it out, let me know. But hopefully for people that can't fix it or just get frustrated like I do, you can do these tools. Wow. What is this? Okay. I'm also going to, because I have my glove layer on with the wet skin, you can see on my fingertips there is like an alpha glitch there. So we are going to make this a little smaller of a brush tool, even smaller than that, as small as possible. Hit Control here, and then just start adding here. Raise our force a bit. Do something, please. Do I need to use the clone stamp tool? Is there one? Yes. Okay, cool. And I'm assuming the same thing applies, where you just hold it down. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It's so close up, it doesn't matter too much, but it mattered to me. We still have some spots we need to dodge. Ooh. Very, very, very sensitive with rotating and not rotating, moving in and out, zooming in and zooming left and right. Okay. And then we see this weird little thing right here. This is from my hair base clipping with the alpha up there. So we are going to again go in with the patch tool, the healing tool, click here, and then just slowly get rid of it. Nice and easy fix, right? Right. Blur out down here as well. I just like blurring. I feel like it makes it look more in the photo and not like jagged and like I just copy pasted her in. Okay, now let's zoom out and see how it looks from far away. Honestly, I already like it how it is. I really felt like I didn't need to edit too much, but we'll do a little bit. We got to do dodge and burn and fix this arm right here. So let's do the arm thing first. Again, this healing tool has become my best friend. I'm probably getting way too reliant on it, but I don't care. Just slowly and gently adjust it. Take your time with it. If you need to undo, hit Control Z. And look at that. That line is gone. It makes it look a little bit more natural with the skin. It's awesome. Okay, now let's mess with our dodge and burn tool. What's really cool is we have the dodge and burn right here. So if you want to switch them out, it's a really easy thing to do. You can have burn or dodge, and then we have everything that would be like in Photoshop right here. We can have the shadows, midtones, and highlights. Okay, so after like 10 minutes of yawning, let's get to this. We will go to our dodge tool first, and then we can mess with these over here, how large we want the size. So I want that larger. If you want to mess with the aspect of like making it like more narrow or more flat, you can do that. And then we're going to keep the force pretty low. Treat it like you would the intensity in Photoshop if you watch my other tutorials. And I'm going to keep it kind of severe right now, but I will go in later with the burn tool and edit, so it's fine. No big deal. So let's go down here and go to burn, and we will lower the force just a bit more. We don't want it too intense. We're going to burn up here and around our clavicle to make it stand out even more. Our cleavage, I guess I can raise the force a little more. Our cleavage, shadow spots that wouldn't be in the direct light. We have a really cute hip bone, so let's go back to dodge, lower the force a bit. I just keep thinking Star Wars every time I say that. Did y'all get Disney Plus? I wanted to rewatch all of the Star Wars stuff before I watch Mandalorian, I think is what it's called. I'm really bad with names. But I love it so far. I've only watched like really crummy movies like Twitches, and I want to watch Ice Princess later. But I also watch like Bugs Life, Wally, and uh, crap. Oh, Ratatouille, because I love Ratatouille. It was cute. I've had so much fun with it so far. They need to fix a lot of stuff though. It's so annoying. Like there's like having to go back every time, or it doesn't actually work with uh your queue, like your watch next thing. Sometimes it makes me watch the next thing in there unless I go back. It's odd. Okay, I like how this looks. Let's go on down to burn again. I want to burn my hand. It's funny saying that like without context. And my hip bone a little bit more, make it stand out. I really like GIMP, y'all. It's just so fun. We are going to go with our layers next. So this is cool. Like, I enjoy this a lot. I wish I just had like a normal selection tool where I don't have this stuff. But it's fine. We're going to right click and we get this little HUD right here, and we are going to go to colors. And you can see in colors we have all of the items that we would normally have on the right hand side. If I can find a way to have this there, that would be awesome. So if y'all know how to get this over on the right hand side, that'd be really cool. But for now, we are going to use these over here. And first off, I want to mess with brightness and contrast. It'll pop up a little menu right over here. No, not brightness and contrast. I want to go to, this was really cool right here, shadows and highlights. So we are going to mess with this first. And it's pretty neat. Like, again, you can just scroll to adjust it how you see fit. And let's zoom out. Ooh, let's zoom out. Get back to standard view. Come on. Oh my gosh, it is so like, it just instantly wants to go from nothing to massive like in seconds. But oh, I love messing with the shadows. Like I feel like this is just such a nice little subtle touch to make your avatar stand out, which is so cool. And we can do this with the color adjustment as well. It just kind of changes the tone a little bit. You can see me going from red to a little bit more green. We can mess with the highlights and make ourselves stand out even more. Mess with the color adjustment as well. And then white point adjustment, which I still haven't quite figured out, but you can still see a subtle difference with it. It looks like it just makes it stand out even more, which is again really cool. You can have it focus more in on the center image, or you can stretch it out. Next, I want to right click, go to colors, and we're going to go to curves. And this was what sold me on this. Like, it won't let you just like use a dropper tool and get it like how you want it. You actually have to go through each color. So let's first mess with the value on how we want this lighting to look. Again, we want to make our avatar stand out, so I just kind of lowered it up a bit. Now, we're going to move from value and we're going to go through all of our RGB, and this is going to, it's almost like how I like to use my color mixer. So we are going to first go with the red and just kind of go with the tones you want. So the first one messes with the highlights, the second one messes with the shadows, and you can even do a third one for the midtones. I normally don't mess with that too much, but look how much it changes it. Like you can really get like severe like comic book style, or you can just do like subtle little changes like I like to do. I'm going to raise it a bit because we don't want it to all be bluey. We still want to stand out and not just kind of match the background. But we want to go through with all these three colors just to find a good balance. And then we're going to go in with blue, which is the main color of this scene. So we kind of want to go more intense out of all of them, just to really bring out that color that we started with. I messed it up a bit, so let's try to get it back. It's just so cool. Like all the options that you have with this are just so neat. We can even, let's see, I wish they had a vibrance part, but this one just does saturation, which is a little annoying. But we can add saturation to it, or we can take it down. I'm going to add just a little bit to it just because I can't mess with the vibrance. And honestly, I'm already really happy with this image. We are going to do just a few more things and then we will be done. So we're going to go to filters, we're going to go to enhance, and we're going to go to sharpen, just like how I normally like to do. So sharpen with an unsharp mask, and we get to mess with the radius and the amount. And the higher the radius, I've noticed, is like you'll get kind of like a weird shadow like behind your hands. So you kind of want to be like kind of sparing with this. You don't want it to be too intense where you can tell you really edited the crap out of this. You want it to be pretty subtle, you know. So there we go, it went away. But we can raise the amount of sharpness, and that'll just help bring out every single detail in your character. And then the threshold just shows how much it will affect the whole area. Now then, we are also going to go in to filter, noise, and we are going to do the RGB noise, which I felt was the best. So first, all these numbers are going to be different, so we want to have it all be the same color so that it doesn't change the tone of it. And I found if we have it at 0.02, I feel like that is the best. Okay, so I learned if you go to File, Save As, it'll force you to save it as XFC. So if you want to save it as something else, go to File, Export As, and then you can change it to PNG or however you want it. So let's just name it We and hit Export. And then all these show up as well. Save resolution. Okay, so that should be fine. There we go. Now I'm done. Okay, bye guys.